Hello and welcome to Sick Tips with Lumpy. If you're like me and you suffer from motion sickness, I have 10 tricks that can help play Minecraft despite having motion sickness. First tip, go into Options, Accessibility Settings. There's going to be a lot in here that we want. And the first thing you're going to change here is the panorama scroll speed. You're going to change it to 0%. Having that screen in the background just move constantly is just, it starts you off on the wrong foot as soon as you open Minecraft. So put it at 0% if it isn't already. Now, still in accessibility settings, you want to make sure that view bobbing here is off. What this does, now this is personal, but for me anyways, the head bobbing makes it so much worse for motion sickness. And I've heard that it's pretty much the same for a lot of people, so you want to have this off. Number 3, in distortion effects, you want this off as well. So this is anything like when you're going through the nether portal, you know how it kind of makes that weird nauseous movement. Turning this off helps a great deal. There's also another one that helps a lot for this, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And finally, the last thing in the accessibility settings is your FOV effects. Now, personally, this varies from person to person. I've heard some people say that, 70% was perfect. Others said 50% was perfect. Me personally, I need it off. I don't want any kind of field view change in my peripherals. That's when I get sick the most. So for me, it's off, but you might have to play around with it a little bit. Number 5 is going to be Options again. And this time we're going into video settings. Now mine looks a little bit different because I am using Fabric, Iris, all that different. It's not Optifine, so this is why maybe it looks a little bit different. But what you want to do, personally for me, I found that this helped quite a bit. The GUI scale, putting it at just a little bit smaller and less in my face. Like, look at the difference here. Like, to me, this is too close, and I don't know why, but that just makes me feel, I don't know, ill somehow. So just further away, this helps also for me personally in-game when I'm opening my inventory, things like that. So again, this is a personal choice, but try to play with your GUI scale just to see if that helps at all. Okay, so now we're going beyond just vanilla Minecraft. So I'm going to talk about things like resource packs. So in your options here, if you go to resource packs, I personally have this one here. So no block break particles. What this essentially does is it doesn't create that kind of like the particle, well, as it says here, removes the particles that show when breaking blocks. I personally think that this helps quite a bit just because there isn't that extra movement when you're breaking blocks, and you know how things will move around with the particles of the blocks. I find that not having this on helps quite a good deal. And I also noticed that it makes going through portals even better because it really has no kind of loading screen at all with any kind of particles, nothing. So it's really clean, and for me anyways, it helps a great deal for motion sickness. Alright, so for number 7 to 9 is going to be talking about a specific mod called Lightmatica. So I personally have a mods menu, which gives me access to all of my mods here. So what you want to do is scroll all the way down to Lightmatica. Then you want to go to Configure, And first we're going to start with hotkeys. So for hotkeys here, easy place toggle. So here you'll want to assign a key, whatever you'd like. I put it on F10. It's just always been F10. That's what I've kept it at. So you have easy place toggle. What this allows you to do is turn on and off whenever you're, say, building something from Litematica itself. This allows you to place the blocks automatically and not have to do all that, you know, turning and spinning around. Okay. Now with this, so number 8 now, you want to go into generic and you want to go all the way down to easy place mode. So you want to put this true, and then also easy place single player handling true. Now this is only good on single player. Depending on the server you play with, here there's place protocol version. That becomes complicated. If you have a server, you can look into it. If you play on a server, you can ask about it. But basically just this here, the easy place single player handling, allows it that, say when you're placing stairs and say they have to be, you know, facing west or east or, you know, any of the cardinal directions. What this does is in single player anyways, you don't have to turn around to place them facing the right direction. They will automatically place themselves in the correct direction that they're already supposed to be as per your schematic. So this just makes it that you don't have to, for example, if you've got stairs facing north and then south, north, south, you know, things like that, you don't have to go backwards, you know, constantly just spinning around back and forth. That tends to get, personally anyways, my motion sickness up quite a bit. So if that's something that, you know, interests you and you're playing single player, I really recommend doing this. So like I said here, easy place mode, easy place, single player handling, both of these at true. And finally, the last tip I have is take breaks. That is probably the most important thing. If you can only play for, say, 5 minutes and then you need like a 30-minute break, so be it. Eventually you might be able to, you know, make that amount a little bit higher, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. It might be extremely slow going, but taking a break is what's really going to help you, because if you push too hard and you end up getting that full motion sickness, that's it for a while. And I don't know about you, but as soon as something makes me feel motion sickness, it can be really hard to get back into it, because your body's already kind of like stressing, knowing what could be coming. So you really want to make Minecraft as positive as possible and try to really reduce the likelihood of getting motion sickness in the first place. So, you know, little things, extra tips here is really just, you know, make sure that you're not too hot. Having cooler temperatures around you will actually help quite a bit. So make sure you're not overly warm. If it's a really hot day, you might want to avoid playing. I know it might sound ridiculous for people who either have never suffered from motion sickness, or, you know, this is their first times experiencing it, but really feeling too warm, too hot, not gonna help you. As well as drink a lot of water. Again, sounds really weird, but it does help. Personally for me, if you eat baby carrots, that can help, the crunch, things like that. So there's a bunch of like tips and tricks on how to, you know, if you get motion sickness in the car, things like that, but they do all help towards even just playing something like Minecraft. Like I said, take breaks when you are moving around a lot, say to break blocks, say you're digging a really big hole, so you're breaking a lot of blocks, there's a lot of movement. Try to focus on a spot ahead of you that isn't moving as much, just so that you can focus on that instead of the movement around you. It's a bit like when you feel sick in a car, you look straight ahead, you focus on a point up ahead that isn't moving. That's the trick. So that's it for my 10 tips of, sick tips for playing Minecraft when you have motion sickness. I hope this helped. If it did, please leave a like and share this with other people if you know that they have motion sickness and they want to try it out. One last extra little bonus tip: don't play the day before you have something maybe like important you have to do. Don't play like the day before, don't play a Sunday when you have to work on the Monday following, things like that. It's just, if you do get sick, that kind of sickness can last quite a few days. So just be careful. Sometimes it can even turn into vertigo, so that can be really bad. So just be careful with that. Try it like on a Friday night, if you're not working till Monday, at least you have a few days to recoup if ever it doesn't work out. So take care, and still try to play Minecraft. Great game, despite sometimes the motion sickness. It's worth it. Take care.